All right, part 3, communicate. When you work with people, you need to communicate effectively. It's just that simple. So you need to communicate assertively, and in doing so, you will manage your interruptions. Try to focus on something, and focus till complete. Focus stands for follow one course until successful. Focus on what you need to get done. Try to save time. Reserve a little bit of time for yourself so you can get things done. You can have that extra half hour for that emergency that pops up. Consider your delegation too. Make sure you always are thinking, can I delegate this to someone else? Delegating is important. It's a major role of the RN. It's one of the most difficult things for students to get used to because it's so different giving people an assignment, but you need to be able to do that. You cannot do it all. You can't. So ask for help. Delegate. And then take time to regroup. Every hour, every 2 hours, whatever your schedule for you. But just pause for a second. Look at that list. How many things are crossed off? Of the stuff that's not crossed off, what is now most important, and tackle that one. You're constantly going to be reassessing, reprioritizing all day long. When you communicate assertively, you'll be using I statements. If the CNA doesn't get your vital signs, don't get in their face pointing fingers. Just say, when I give an assignment and it's not complete, this is a problem because I can't further my job, or I can't communicate with the physician appropriately, or I can't take care of the patient correctly. Don't go, you did it wrong. Explain how it impacts you. It isn't what you did wrong. It's what your actions have done to me. That's an assertive communication. Describe the behavior, not the person. Make sure they understand the consequences. You didn't. The vital signs were not completed in time, so I was not able to appropriately give the insulin. And then make sure they understand exactly what needs to be done to correct their behavior. Vital signs must be completed by X o'clock. Blood glucoses must be in the computer by 5 o'clock, or whatever it is for your facility. So this is all about managing others. Managing others is difficult. If you haven't done it before, it's very difficult. Even if you have done it before, it's not easy because every nurse, every professional wants to get it done their way. So you need to make sure you work with your team the best. So when possible, make sure you avoid the person who's constantly griping. Unless they're assigned to your team, it's not going to help you, and it's not, their constant negative talk will not further your agenda. If you have a problem, communicate directly with that person, assertively, but directly to them. Don't talk about what they did to someone else. Don't assume your manager is going to do your work for you. You're the RN. You have to do this now. You are responsible for the people that are subordinate to you. And delegating to LPNs, that can be difficult, especially if that LPN has been a nurse for a long time. Quick story from me, when I was a student, I was working as a nurse extern on the cardiac step-down unit. I worked with a number of LPNs. I worked with LPNs who'd had their license longer than I had been alive. Seriously. They'd been LPNs for 35, 40 years. And I was barely 30 at the time. So as a nurse extern, no big deal. I liked working with them. Then I graduated, and as an RN, I was hired onto that same floor, that same shift I was working, and now I am managing those LPNs. I am a brand new RN, and I'm telling them what to do, giving them assignments, and assessing their work. That was difficult. That was really hard. How I handled it was I went up to them and said, guys, I worked with you before. You know what I can do. I know what you can do. My role as an RN means I have to co-sign all of your work. Please understand that is not me criticizing or critiquing your work. I am merely signifying that, yes, you did this. And I want you to work with me so that you can help me become the best RN possible. Because I'm going to learn from you every day. I have for the past semester. I'm going to continue. And when I did that, what potentially could have been a very difficult situation got totally reversed, and now we were the best team possible because they were teaching me. How about problem situations? What happens if you're overworked? You have an assignment that's too heavy or unsafe. It's possible to have a too heavy assignment. That happens. It's never planned. Usually what happens is you come on duty and you have a normal assignment, and then people get sicker than they were, or you get admissions that were unexpected. So how do you handle an unsafe assignment? Well, in your course packet, you see the assignment despite objection form. And we're going to talk about what that does in class. But take a look at that. Take a look at how you fill that out. Every facility will have something different, but all essentially the same. What about overwork from poor time management? We've all seen the other student or the staff member, maybe you work with somebody who is always overworked, but it's only because they aren't organized. Well, that's what this entire lecture is all about. Many times, simply improving communication is the source of the problem. If you haven't go back to that early example. My wife told me to clean the house. In her mind, she knew exactly what she was talking about. In my mind, no, I had no clue. So I was using my definition of clean, not hers. Poor communication. Now she gives me a detailed work list. I know exactly what she wants done. Much better communication, much better end result. So you could tell your CNA, go take care of patient Mary. What is take care of? Toilet, clean, ambulate, feed? Wouldn't it be better if you said, patient Mary needs to walk, needs to be toileted and needs some ambulation. Could you please take her to the toilet, then ambulate her in the halls? By the way, she's a standby assist, so all you need to do is put on the gait belt and just walk with her. Clear communication. You'll get more things done with better results. And that's it for this lecture. Glad it was short? Well, don't worry. We're going to spend plenty of time talking about it in class, making sure we understand all the key details.